Welcome back to this YouTube. Okay, so a few days ago I put up a YouTube of me crying like a little baby because me and the guy that I was seeing, we like broke up. And you know what? I went for a walk yesterday by myself, did some meditation, jumped in the sea, thought about how grateful I am. I've been just pouring myself into my work. I'm really in the mode of like work and getting through building out my courses, and I'm going to be building out a kind of like a self-love community. It came to me. I was like, oh my God, like I would love a place where people could feel like people don't need any more education, just a place where people can feel understood. So I'm going to build a little community called the Heart Hub. And so that's going to be my little passion project in March. But for now, I am building other stuff. So I'll do that first. And then I'm going to pour everything into the Heart Hub. I was thinking of having, like special guests and people talking about like self-love and self-respect and all these things. And just like some strategies and ways that how I've gone through it. Just books. We could do like a book club. I don't know. The thing, it's just endless. But any ideas, please comment below. I would love to hear. So this episode is about when I'm done, I'm done. Yeah, so I went for a walk and I'm over it. And people are like, how could you be over it in 2 days? And I was like, I just am. Obviously, part of the reason is like, I don't think that we had like that deep of a connection that I'm like going to sit here and be like super upset about it. And also like I have in the past, I guess there was just no, like, I think the loop was closed. I think when I find myself having to revisit something and having to like sit in sadness and that kind of thing is when someone is like horrible to me when I know I'm a good person, because that really goes against like everything I think about myself. And also when I don't know, when it's just like doesn't, like when it feels unresolved, that's when I feel like I, for some reason, cannot be done. And I guess sometime in your life you would have had the same thing where someone, you just could not get over them for the hell of it. Took you years. And it was probably some toxic relationship, most likely. But anyway, this person wasn't toxic. This person wasn't even a bad person. And I'm just like thinking, just so weird, because in my head I was like, I want to be good friends with this person. I really value his friendship and his support. And that's kind of where I'm at the moment. Even before I met him, I wasn't dating. I wasn't seeing anybody. I just like had like 8 months to myself. I was just chilling. And in that mindset, I, of course, I don't want to say of course, I had guys hitting on me, but I had, guys ask me on dates, and I just said, hey, look, right now I'm just valuing friendship. I'm not really wanting to. And so he kind of surprised that he got through the cracks and I was able to kind of open up. But like I said, I'm so glad that I went through this experience. He was a beautiful human being, and he reflected back the type of love that I know I want and deserve. So in that, I'm just like, it's not a cold thing, but also like, why do we have to sit in pain? Why do I have to sit here like being a sad girl and crying? And I don't need to do that. I can just keep moving forward. I think, like I said, my life is so full. I've got so much going on that I don't really have the time to go sit and cry about these things. I have time to make YouTubes on them, of course. But when you kind of, I don't know, when you're reaching a point where you're not like negotiating with your standards, that just gives you so much emotional clarity, because you're just like, oh, well, my standard is that I want XYZ, and this person isn't going to give it to me, so there's no point in crying over it. And I think that was another thing I realized last night is, I was talking to Chat, and I was like, he's just not my person. My person would have wanted certain things that we both want, and we would want to like build a future together based on that. And I just don't think we had that same mindset of what we wanted long term. So for me, I was like, well, he's not my person, so I'm just going to carry on. Like, I've got a whole life to live. I'm sure my person will come at some point, but not right now. So yeah, there's just times in my life where I just held on to like relationships and friendship breakups and potential. And yeah, I remember breaking up with a girlfriend, like not as a partner, but like as a girl best friend. We lived together. Something basically happened, like I outgrew the friendship, and what would have happened there is that I would have mirrored back to her. At the time, I was quite a bit younger than her. Must have been 5 years younger than her. She was like 30, I would have been 25, and I was probably maybe 26. Mirroring back to her, like, where are you at in your life, and where I am at. And I just wanted to build businesses. I wanted to talk about, like expanding my finances, and I didn't want to go to parties and get drunk and get cooked in the weekend. I didn't care about that anymore. And like, yes, our friendship started on that. We met at a party, and then there was like, I went away for like a year. I lived in Australia, then I went back to New Zealand, and I lived with her again. And it was like we were just on two different timelines. And in that time, she didn't even, when I was like building my business and like locking in and had this beautiful relationship at the time, she didn't even ask me how my day was for a whole year. She didn't even ask me what work I was doing. She didn't ask me what collaborations, nothing. I heard nothing from her. It was just like fake love. Like it was actually, and it fucking wrecked me for so long, because she was like so avoidant about talking about our friendship, and we never talked about it. And I think that the times in my life where I've had relationships breakups are the times where I've got to sit it out with somebody, and we've had that closure talk, and we've had that talk of like, yes, sweet, like I respect you, I love you, see you later. And the people that I don't ever get to do that with, for some reason I just loop and loop and loop and hold and hold and hold, because I never got to close that conversation, and it takes me so long to get there. So maybe the reason that I'm like done, because I'm done, is because me and him sat there and we like had a talk for an hour. We got the closure that we needed, and then we were like, oh, let's just move on now. And yeah, I even like sent him a voice note last night and was like, yeah, like I'm just like, now that I'm romantically over it, even though it's been 2 days, I'm like done. I'm like, oh, I can just move forward. I don't have to keep holding on to it. And I guess for someone like him, very good looking, has probably been through this before. He said that he has been to the military, and like this kind of thing has happened before, where he's dated someone for like, 3 months, 6 months, and then realized that he had to get posted out somewhere, and then they would have to break up because he would be gone for months on end, and it just wasn't going to work out. And I guess that girl would have been really hurt, because she might have centered her whole life around him or wanting to be with him. Whereas like, I just don't feel like I wanted that at the time. I think I enjoyed his company. I liked being around him. I valued him as a friend, but I'm so glad that it's just like, okay, now it's just a friendship. For me, I'm just like, it's done. Like, I'm done. And when I'm done, I'm done. It's not cold. It's not mean. I'm just done. And also, other times in my life when people have disrespected me and crossed boundaries for me, and I've given them chances, the empath in me always tries to understand where people are coming from, their childhood trauma. Like, I always see it in such a different light of like, it's not about me, it's them. And I give them so many chances, but then once I'm fucking done, like when I'm done, and you probably know this feeling, when you're so done, like someone's just pushed you and pushed you and pushed you, and you're just done. You're just like, I'm never going back. If the effort, I guess back in the day, I would over-explain. I would over-give to people. I would hope they change. I would try to see their potential. I'll be replaying conversations in my head. I'll be second-guessing everything that I've done myself. Like, oh, could I have done it like this? Could I have done it like that? Oh, could I have done it better? And there was a moment in the past 2 days where I was like, oh, maybe if I'd said it like this, would he have not felt this way? And maybe we would still be together today. And then I was like, nah, it is what it is. Like, the decision would have been made either way. And I think it would have just prolonged what we were feeling deep down. So I just need to keep going. Staying with people, because because of history, like being friends with someone because you've known them for 10 years, but yet they treat you like a shit person. Like, those are all the things that I used to do. But like now, if a boundary is crossed, I'm gone. Like, I'll step back. I'm like, oof, I feel that. I don't want to be around somebody like that. Or if I feel like I'm putting in more effort and it feels like it's one-sided, I just stop. Because if they want to come to the table and they want to see me and put in effort, they'll be there. But if not, I just stop. And if the respect isn't there, like if someone doesn't respect me, and I'm not being like, oh, they have to respect me, but like, it's just simple. Just respect people. It's not that hard. And if you don't respect someone, I feel like someone's disrespecting me and my time and who I am, okay, well, goodbye. Like, there's plenty other people out there that I feel like will respect and love me. So I actually don't have time for it. And if I feel more anxious around someone, then I feel like secure around them and I feel relaxed around them. If I just feel off, nowadays I'm just like, I'm detaching. I don't really have time for this, especially in relationships. If someone's going to make me feel anxious, make me second guess, make me try and chase after them, that kind of thing, I'm like, I actually don't have time to play these games. Sorry. I'm like, my life is so full. I'm doing other things. This thing over here is so cute. Like, what is he doing? I'm just fully sleeping. And I don't regret anybody that I love. I don't regret any friendship. I feel like they have taught me more about myself than anything else. Like, if I hadn't have gone through all of those things, I wouldn't have sat there and reflected and been like, oh, how could I have done better? How could I find better? What do I do next time to make sure that it's better? Like, you know what I mean? Like, always constantly evolving with every situation or every ending. I don't know if I have I haven't really reflected back on this like past month and a half of us being together. Maybe the only thing I've reflected back on is like, oh, I should have listened to my intuition. Maybe that's something I've learned from it. But yeah, once the lesson's learned, I don't really stay for extra credit, you know? Like, I don't need to. I don't need to keep staying to learn more lessons. Once it's learned, I'm done, you know? And also, I want to let you know that, like, done doesn't mean you're going to be bitter. I'm seeking revenge. I'm going cold. I'm, like, having to prove a point, stonewalling, blocking. I'm not like that type of person. Like, I'm just not an angry person. It takes so much energy from me to be angry. I'd rather just be happy. What it means is that I'm not revisiting what we had. I'm not going to emotionally negotiate with somebody if they're disrespecting me. I'm not going to fantasize about and sit there and be like, oh yeah, the potential, but also the potential is that they could be like this, so maybe one day. No, I'm not convincing myself. And for me, that protects my peace. And I guess I did it in my last video, is about protecting your peace. So when you're done, you're done. You know, it protects more peace than I feel like sitting in the sadness and the grief and the upset and the what ifs and maybes and that kind of thing. I think it does more to you, and it makes you sit in the past rather than being excited for what could come in the future. My mindset is that there's an abundance of kind, lovely, caring, beautiful, stunning people out there. They exist. They are there. I know, because all of my friends are those people. And the people I attract in my life are those people. So I know for a fact that they're all around me. And I'm just not worried. I'm not living in like a scarcity mindset of like, I'll never find somebody great like this again. It's just not the time for us. And I think I would value, rather than losing him and being upset and being angry at him and that kind of thing, and then being like, I never want to speak to you again, like, I'm blocking you. Like, that holds resentment and anger at him, but it only will hurt myself more. I probably won't even bother him if I did that. Whereas if I go into this and be like, no, actually, like, I value our friendship more than anything. And that, if anything, that I've learned is, like, I want a friendship out of this in the end, rather than to be tied to some kind of romantic emotional feeling towards this guy, I guess. I'm just like, nah, I want you to be my mate. I want to cheer you along on everything that you get to do in life, and I want you to be there to cheer me along. And yeah, and I know that we're not each other's person. So, like, it's cool with me. You know, like, I'm chilled. I'll know when my person turns up. I'll know when my person wants to be with me. It ain't right now. It's not right now. And yeah, I feel like, obviously, like, that hurts at first, but then it was just like clarity for me. It made me feel pretty content within myself. And the emotional part of me was just kind of like dying out and was like, oh, you know what? When I'm done, I'm done. Like, I'm over it. It's all good. I can get over it on a Wednesday afternoon and just move on with my life. And you're probably like, oh, like, how are you even doing that? It's because, guys, I have built a life that is full. I have self-love. I have self-respect for myself. And I respect my time and my thoughts that are in my head. Like, if I go down that route, I'm going to spiral, and it does nothing but hurt me. He'll carry on with his life. He'll carry on doing what he does. Like, you know, like, obviously, like, I'm special to him in a way, but I'm not that special to him that I'm, like, at the forefront of his mind all day, every day. It's just like, oh, yeah, we had a great moment together, and, like, it's carrying on. And that's exactly how I see it. Even, like, with my previous ex, we were together for 1.5 years. We, like, when we were having our talk about us breaking up, he was like, oh, well, that was just kind of like a waste of time or whatever. And I was like, nah. I was like, you know, like, some relationships can just be completed. Like, it doesn't have to be, not everybody's in your life forever. You know, like, everyone's here for a lesson, season, all of that kind of quote that everybody says, but it truly is that. Maybe some people are here for a lifetime, but I was like, no, like, I'm so glad we did it, but I feel like our chapter is complete. We don't need to carry on and cry about what could have been. It's just done. And I don't think I ever looked back that day. Like, I didn't even think twice that day when we broke up. I didn't ever think, not that I'm like, oh, I didn't ever think about him again, but I just didn't. I was like, oh, my life is going to carry on. I'm got to go focus on me now. And yeah, I think that's just like my mindset. I don't know if it's harsh. I don't know if it's mean. I think it's just a way that I try not to live in the past too much, because it's done. It's complete. And when I'm done, I'm done. Anyway, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for watching, and I'll speak to you soon.